My name is Kenneth Haggerty. I am the Associate Dean for Innovation and Scholarly Engagement at the University Libraries. And today I'm going to give a presentation and also do a little bit of a demonstration on how to utilize the University Libraries' resources and services. So just a couple quick facts. The building you saw on the first slide as well as on the second slide here, that is McWhirter Library. This is the main branch library on campus. It was opened in 1994. We also have 3 branch libraries as well. We have music over in the music building, health sciences, which is across Park Avenue. And then we also have our Lambeth Library in Jackson, Tennessee. The University Libraries is composed of 8 departments. We have our administration, circulation, which is the checkout, books, and technology. Government publications. The University of Memphis is a federal depository, so we have a lot of government maps, government pamphlets, and a lot of other cool government information. Information Access Services is our cataloging, interlibrary loan, as well as electronic resources department. The newest department is our innovation and scholarly communications. And so part of that is our technology and maker spaces, mainly at McWhirter Library. We also have our research and instructional services, which provides research consultations as well as instruction for classes. Special collections, which is up on the 4th floor, that holds a lot of the university archives as well as a lot of Memphis history. And then we also have our UM3D, which provides online course support, particularly for Canvas. So a little information about the branch libraries. The Health Sciences Library, as I mentioned, is across Park Avenue over on the 2nd floor of the Community Health Building. They have their own website that you can access, Libraries, HS Library. It's a little pretty easy to get to. Once you get on the 2nd floor, you just go on the left and go into those doors that you see in the middle picture there. There's a lot of, we have 3 study rooms there, as well as a lot of resources for nursing and communication science disorder students and faculty. And as I mentioned, it's over in the Community Health Building. The music library recently went through a name change, the Ephraim and Caroline S. Fruchman Music Library. It's over on the 1st floor of the Scheid School of Music Legacy Building, similar to Health Sciences. It has its own website there, and they also have a lot of, they have an album collection, scanners, computers, and a lot of resources dedicated to the music building. And then the final branch library over at Lambeth, located at 705 Lambeth Boulevard, Jackson, very recently went through a renovation, a lot of new furniture, stacks, technology, and so that's over in Jackson. So if you ever find yourself over there, feel free to stop by the Lambeth Library. The branch library services all have study spaces, technology devices, equipment, print collections. All branch libraries have access to the same University of Memphis digital resources as McWhirter Library, and also are staffed with a faculty librarian where you can get one-on-one virtual and in-person assistance, as well as research consultations. And then, as I mentioned, every branch library has its own website with location, service, and resource information. Okay, a lot of what today I'm going to be reviewing is navigating the university library's webpage. This is where you can access the hundreds of thousands of journals, databases, books, and this search bar is where you have access to all that. And so if you are working on a research project, you can just immediately type in your keywords and get results within seconds by just typing it in right in the middle search bar there. Our website is divided into 4 categories right underneath the search bar. We have our support, And so that's where you can ask a librarian. Um, and so you can do email chat, telephone chat, send a message, an instant message. And then also you can set up right below that is the research appointments link. And so that's where you can do a research consultation. If you need assistance locating resources, you're working on a paper, you need help getting your literature review together, that's where you can click on the research appointments and set up an online or in-person appointment with a librarian. There's also links for accessibility services. If you are having problem with accessing an electronic resource, we have a report access problems link. And then also the Writing and Communication Center is on the first floor of McWhirter Library. And so if you need help editing a paper, they provide that service on the first floor of McWhirter. Second tab there, that's for student instructors. That's where you can access your library account, view the materials that you've checked out, as well as interlibrary loan. And so although the university libraries provides access to thousands of materials, there's a lot of materials that we don't have. But through our interlibrary loan partnership with other institutions, we can order those materials for you and you can get them free of charge. And for electronic materials, you can often get those within hours. And so during my demonstration, I can show you how to access that. Also under student instructors, we have our faculty resources. Faculty often place materials on course reserve, so that can be accessed here, as well as information for undergraduates, graduate students, as well as online library orientation materials as well. I mentioned our technology, so we have our maker spaces, which we call the sandbox. That falls under the technology tab. So we have a podcasting studio in McWhirter Library, as well as a video production studio, an audio visual studio, a presentation practice studio, as well as 3D printers, laser cutters. And so all that information can be found on the sandbox link there. Technology checkout, we have laptops available for hourly checkout, and as well as other technologies such as cameras. The Digital Commons is our institutional repository. So we have thousands of materials, images, PDFs that we've scanned and made available online. And in addition, we have our electronic theses and dissertations. So if you're a graduate student, your thesis or dissertation will eventually get added to the University of Memphis institutional repository as well. Information about UM3D as well as disability resources for students can also be found under technology. And then on the fourth tab there, that's information on our locations. You can reserve space in McWhirter Library, Health Sciences, or Lambeth on this page. And then you can also view a map of McWhirter Library, and those are the 3 branch libraries that have their own website, as I mentioned earlier. We've also created resources specific for public health. And so we have the School of Public Health Research Guide that's here on the left-hand side there, and that provides information on journals and databases specific to the School of Public Health. And then within the Digital Commons, we have a link in our government publication site specific to the Department of Health that can provide a lot of useful information. And I'll show you how to get to that as well. I mentioned research appointments, so the libraries is happy to support your research. We are definitely here to help you as you go through your academic journey. And so we're happy to provide in person if that's your preference. You can set up a time to meet with one of our librarians, but if you prefer the Teams virtual environment, that's an option as well. We have service desk at the front of McWhirter. You walk into the building right there on the left-hand side. You can meet with a librarian there during the working hours. And the same goes for our branch libraries, where we have people at the desk at the Health Sciences Library, the Music Library, and the Lambeth Library. You can get help by chat, email, phone, and as I mentioned, we have a lot of research guides and videos for self-guided help as well. This is the interface to get some research help. And so once you have the make an appointment at the top there, you'll see the online, but you can choose where you want to get help, whether it's an in-person or online environment. You can select a staff member. So let's say you wanted to make an appointment with Carl Hess, which is the second listed down there. You can select your date and then select your time, hit continue. If you have a University of Memphis email, you should be able to quickly fill out that form and move forward with getting a research appointment. Technology. I mentioned that we have a lot of spaces dedicated to technology in McWhorter Library. We have added some 3D printers as well as laser cutters, Cry-Cut creative cutters. And so through those, you can go through an orientation, learn how to use those technologies, and then you can kind of come and build your own technologies or build your own printers, 3D printed objects, and use the laser cutter to create your own innovative items after you've done the orientations. I mentioned we have the 4 upstairs studio spaces. The podcasting recording studio up on the second floor is very popular. We've had students who have created their own podcast. And so if that's something that's interested to you, you're welcome to reserve that space. And then, as I mentioned, we have a lot of checkout technologies, photography equipment, digital drawing tablets, 3D printer pens, take-home podcasting kits. So a lot of available technology that you can check out. And so one of the most, I'd say, popular aspects of the university libraries is our space. We have 2 new giant fish bowls up on the 4th floor. And so you can reserve those if you want to have a big study group of 8 to 10 people. There's a TV that you can set up in there. We have drawing boards that you can put up in there. You may be like me where I can't really study at home. I like to come to a library, especially if I'm in a big group, and get a lot of work done in our study spaces. We have 14 group study rooms that are available to all University of Memphis faculty, staff, and students. 8 of the rooms have a capacity of 1 to 5, and 5 have a capacity of 6 or over. And then we have, as I mentioned, the fish bowl up on the 2 fish bowls up on the 4th floor. And then we also have a fish bowl with a capacity of 25 people down on the 1st floor that contains a 3D display screen with touch capability, seating, whiteboard speakers, and VGA access. These rooms can be easily reserved at libcal.memphis.edu. McWhorter Library specifically also has several individual group study rooms, and these can be checked out for 4 hours, 3 days, or 7 days. And then for graduate students, we have semester-long study carrels that can be checked out for a full semester. And then Lambeth and Health Sciences Library, they also have reservable space as well. I talked a little bit about special collections is up on the 4th floor. This is the primary source destination for the university libraries. They have resources on University of Memphis history, local and regional history. They have a lot of West Tennessee civil rights history materials, local LGBTQ plus history, newspaper collections, regional and local history. A lot of these materials are library use only. So you make an appointment to go up to special collections, and then you can scan in the information that you're looking for once they've located it in their stacks. They are typically open from Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. You can feel free to email them to set up an appointment at specialcollections.memphis.edu. I also mentioned that on the 1st floor is our government publications. We are a federal regional depository library for the state of Tennessee and a depository for Tennessee state documents. We provide access to and assist the university and community members with the use of federal and state government information. A lot of this information can be found online through our institutional repository in the Digital Commons, but our physical collections include current and historical statistical information, as well as reports, maps, and other publications from agencies such as the Census Bureau, the Department of Defense, Education, Health and Human Services, Interior, Labor, NASA. And with any help that you need accessing these types of resources, feel free to reach out to government publications. You can get a one-on-one virtual or in-person research consultation, and feel free to reach out to lib_govpub@memphis.edu. And finally, our information access services, which is a little bit behind the scenes, but a couple services I wanted to mention are the ability to request a purchase. As you can imagine, we haven't had the opportunity to increase the sizes of our collection as much in recent years, but we do individual requests, and so that can be found at IAS/forms purchase requests.php. I'll show you where on the website you can find that form. And then also I mentioned interlibrary loans. So in case we don't have a material, you're welcome to go to our interlibraryloan.memphis.edu, and we can input in a request, and we can usually get that item. And then also we have our electronic resource management report form, where if, let's say a link is broken when you're trying to access an article online, this is the where you can go and fill out that form, and usually we can fix the issue. The University Libraries also has several events. This semester for graduate students, we have a series of webinars throughout the spring semester. I actually did one last week on journal research metrics, and the week before I did one on citation management. And so that's going to occur throughout the semester, where we'll have a lot of our instructional librarians will have webinars on research skills for graduate students. In the summer and fall upcoming, we're going to be having dissertation writers retreats. And then at the end of every semester, we have exam week stress busters, including we have dogs come to the McWhirter Library to relieve some stress, always to, and then we also have other events that are meant to take some stress off during exam week. All right, if you have any questions, always feel free to email me. I can be reached at khggerty@memphis.edu. And with that, I'm going to turn off the PowerPoint, and I can go to the website. So one sec. All right, can you all see the University Library's webpage now, not the PowerPoint?
Yep, we can see it.
Great. Okay, so as I mentioned, the website is kind of the home base on where to get to everything when you're conducting research. And so let's just say that you're doing a research project on artificial intelligence, and let's just keep it pretty broad, and the health industry. So health industry. And this is probably something you might type in when you're just starting out. You're brainstorming on a paper that you want to write. We've kind of made it simple where it's just right there, front and center, typing in kind of whatever you want to explore for a literature review or so. And so this is just kind of your basic search. So you just click on the search here, and it might take a minute. And this is going to take you to our EBSCO interface. And so you're going to get a lot of results. And then you kind of want to play a game here of you want to filter out all the results that you have gotten. So you've gotten 68,036 results, which can be kind of an overwhelming number. But a way to kind of maybe get this down is, and very important, is you can select peer reviewed. And so peer reviewed means that these are from higher quality journals. They've actually gone through a peer review process of experts in the field have reviewed the papers that are coming in your results list that are coming up. So we're going to go and click on that. And that should take our result number down from, what was it, 68,000 all the way down to 25,213. Excellent. And so these are a little over 25,000 results on artificial intelligence and the health industry. We can also filter this down by just one, let's say you just want stuff that we have full text access to online. So we're going to go ahead and click that. That should take that down even more. So I've already taken it down from 68,000 down to 14,235. And then you can also use the filter. Let's say you want to just, let's say, have articles, books that come from the last 5 years. That's going to take it down even more to 11,656 results. And then we can select just academic journals. So we don't want anything from conferences, magazines, trade publications, ebooks. We just want materials that are from academic journals. And so where we started with 68,000 results, now we have 11,144 results. And you can kind of just browse through. Let's say you want to set it so that it's only the newest articles. You can use that button here. And you can kind of just go through and take a look at these initial results. Okay. And then usually as you're searching, especially when you're just beginning the process, you may find something that that is of interest to you. And so let's say advanced human AI synergy for effective collaboration, ethical implications, and future prospects is of interest. You can go ahead and just click on this. You can view the record here and read it directly. Let's see, this is read online. And there we go. You can get the PDF straight from here. So this took us to this is an open access journal, and took us to the outside site. Okay, let's keep them on maybe searching. And then we set it so there's only 20 results. So let's go ahead and we can maybe make that 50. I'm doing, and let's go here. Let's change this so that it was just the past 12 months and see how far that goes. Oh, here's a good one. Nursing students' perspectives on the use of artificial intelligence and robotic technologies in healthcare and qualitative study. Okay. And we notice that this is peer reviewed, tells us the database that it was found in, the source. You can read through the abstract just to see if it's a study that's of interest. And here's where you can view the full article. I believe at the top there, access now. Yep, there we go. Here's the full article. And we can also download it here as well. So that's how you do kind of a basic search. And then you can also click on the advanced search and you can use your Boolean operators, which are and, or not. So let's say instead of the and there, which was from the basic search, you wanted to use, um, here's another search. Let's do AI generated um, or deep fakes. And, or let's do, okay, how about AI generated and deep fakes or health information. So what the advanced search does is it allows you to right off the bat kind of work with the results that you're going to get. You have kind of options on limiting your results. You can filter by language, you can filter by the collection, you can filter by journal name. So if you know the journal that you're looking within, you can search there. And then you can use your Boolean operator. So if you're doing, let's say, if you do the or, you're going to get more results because it can include both of the words that you're putting in. And that means both of those search terms have to be included. But then if you want to remove certain results, you can use the not. So that's kind of some people like to go directly to the advanced search. Usually I just start with the basic search straight from the University Library's website though. Some other options, if you have a digital object identifier specifically that you're looking for, you can do that by clicking on the DOI PMID search. If you have a journal, you already know the name of a journal that you're looking for, you can click on journal search, database search. A lot of this usually is, so let's say you only want to see articles in, I don't know, nursing databases. You can click on this and this is going to provide the list of databases that the university libraries provide. And then you can click on, let's say you're interested in PubMed. They'll take you to the PubMed site and then you can do the search from here. So AI generated health or health misinformation. And that will search from here. You're only searching from PubMed. So the results will be, you're going to get less results, but it being PubMed and being associated with the National Library of Medicine, you know that this is going to be pretty high quality. The research guides here, I mentioned that the libraries has created a lot of self-help materials. So we have a collection of library help videos. And so that's often how to locate ebooks, finding books, doing database searches. So we've created a whole list of videos that show you how to navigate these various resources. And so that's under library help videos and handouts. Other research help guides that we've created. We have an introduction to research guide. We have instructions on how to navigate interlibrary loan and resource delivery. Information on our government publications, information on citation resources and citation management. I'll go ahead and talk a little bit about that. I would highly recommend while you're doing your papers and your literature to make your life easier to use a citation manager. So either EndNote, Mendeley, or Zotero are the three that I would recommend. Information on all these citation management systems can be found on this research guide. My personal favorite is Mendeley, but I know a lot of people like Zotero. And so if you're interested in using a citation manager, which is basically, it provides kind of your works cited page. It helps you create that as well as add in-text citations to your paper. I would explore these options. It's certainly years ago, I wish I had been more reliant on citation managers when I was working on my dissertation. So I would highly recommend exploring that option. Uh, Other research guides we have on how to do book reviews, qualitative research, information on primary sources, literature reviews. Um, and so really, if there's a long list here of research help that if you prefer kind of just going through, learning on your own, but need a little support, all these resources are really great. And our instruction team has spent a lot of time creating these resources. I mentioned the subject guide, and we have a guide that is specific for the School of Public Health. And so here we have a list of public health recommended resources. So these are all databases that are very useful to students and faculty in public health. And so if you're interested in doing research using only specific databases, these are the ones that I would recommend. And then also Browsing kind of gives you a list of the most popular journals that are used for students and faculty of public health. So the Lancet's there. You can click on Explore Journals, and that's going to take you to all the public health journals that are available through the university libraries. And so you can see there's hundreds of them. And so all that is under the research guides, and we also have some topic guides. We have a new one on AI in higher education, accessibility resources, scholarly communication resources. We've created a lot of research guides over the years, as well as a list of course guides as well. Okay, classic catalog, that's more to do searches, in my experience, for physical materials. A little more information can be found on when we're open under today's hours. So this is the main branch library and when we're open, as well as our branch libraries. And then the chat is online feature, you just click on that. You can type in your name, tell them your association, whether you're an undergraduate, graduate student, and that puts you in contact with a librarian that you can chat with immediately. Just to go through what I already kind of showed you, the Ask a Librarian, that's going to take you to this page where you can submit a help ticket. You can make a research appointment. That's what I showed you earlier in the PowerPoint. You can make an appointment online with any of our librarians here, as well as, let's say you have something that's related to music. You may want to make it with Joel, who's our music librarian, and this shows you his availability. Select the time, continue, and then fill out your name, and you can set up an appointment with any of our librarians there. I mentioned the accessibility services information, report access problems. That's this form that takes you where you can let us know if you run into issues accessing a particular article. Interlibrary loan. So you'll need to sign in with your UUID and password. But if you do that, go through the Duo app. That will take you to this page, and you can put in a request for an article, book chapter, loan, ebook, fill out all the information, submit the request, and you should get an email, and they'll get back to you and let you know when you can expect that item to arrive. So once again, interlibrary loan is for items that you cannot find in our collection, but would help you with your research or for a paper. We can usually get you access to those materials because of our partnerships with other academic institutions. Sandbox, this is information on all the spaces and orientations that we have. So if you, let's say you wanted to attend a 3D printing orientation, there's one upcoming on February 26th, 2:30 to 3:30, and you can just register here, begin the registration, fill out your name, click register. Technology checkout. This is all the technology that we have available for checkout on the first floor. So if you, let's say you wanted to check out a pocket projector for 3 days, you can just click on here, check availability, and go from here, and it says it's available. So you can just go to the first floor of the circulation desk at McWhorter and check out your pocket projector. Last thing I'll mention is the reserve space. As you can see, pretty popular. And so let's say you wanted to reserve a space for next Tuesday at you get off work and you want to do something at 5 o'clock. So okay, let's go here. 4:30 to 5:30. We can do it to 6:30. You can just submit the times, fill out your name, last name, your email. You have to put a group meeting name, but as long as your email has an @memphis.edu email address, that should work fine. You just click on submit your booking and you can reserve that space. Okay, and also the digital commons. So this is our institutional repository. I mentioned electronic theses and dissertations. So we have digitized every master's and PhD thesis or dissertation since 2010. And so this is a very popular collection where our students' research is being viewed on a worldwide scale. Out of the 3,724 papers, they've been downloaded almost 1 million times. Now, some of those are bots, I will mention, but still very popular collections for our graduate students' works. And then also in the digital commons, we have our special collections. And so this is a lot of our University of Memphis and Memphis history, government publications, materials. And so I'll show you the Department of Health, which could be of use to public health students. And then also we have a list or several open access journals. Our colleges and schools collection is kind of an open digital space. Mainly it contains faculty publications, a series of open educational resources where we have Canvas modules, some open access textbooks, bibliographies, presentations, as well as syllabi archive. And then we also have some materials from our many research centers and institutions. Okay. All right. So with that, that kind of covers in general look at the university libraries, in particular the website. If there's one big takeaway, I'd say it's the search box on the website. And then also to reiterate that the library faculty and staff, we're here to help. Please feel free to reach out to us through the Ask a Librarian button here at any point. We're happy to assist you as you go through your academic journey. And with that, I'm happy to take any questions.
Just a quick question. Sorry for I kind of joined a little bit late, so you may have mentioned this to begin with. Do you need a student ID to do all these things, or is the library able to like look up active students?
So for most of this, like online, you should be able to, let's say you access a journal or database, you'll be able to sign in using your credentials, and that should be the same as like your email, and then you'll go through the Duo app and go through all that. In order to check out a book, like the physical media, or check out a laptop, I believe you do need your campus ID on the first floor when you go check out that kind of thing.
Thank you so much again, Kenneth. We appreciate your time and hope you have a great evening.
Thank you. Yeah, and feel free to reach out if any questions do arise.